Hey there, and welcome on back. As always, I'm Carl with Targets the Attitude, absent-minded professor of knives and all things sharp. So I'm back, grab your pens and paper, class is about to begin. Today, we're looking at a newer one from Bestech, the Arctic. The Arctic brings up images of snow and ice and everything like that, and it's kind of icy looking, definitely sharp. But before we get too far into this, let's get some syllabus work out of the way first, shall we? If you're new to the channel, welcome. We do mainly knife reviews here on Fridays. Occasionally I'll review some piece of camping equipment, flashlights, cooking gear, compasses, that sort of thing, but mainly knives. On Mondays, we do knife basics, what you really need to know. This is aimed more at the person who's new to the world of knives and wants to know what we mean when we start using all these fancy terms. What is a hollow grind? What is a sedge? What's G10? What's micarta? For those of you who've been with us for a while, welcome on back. Only got one question for you, and yes, you do know what it is. Have you subscribed yet? Okay, the crickets are getting deafening here. Come on, people. It's so simple, as I tell you every week. Shouldn't have to tell you again, but here goes. Just hit that button down there that says subscribe. Then they hit the bell next to it. That way you get notified every time I put up a neat new video. Win-win situation. You win because you don't miss any of my neat new videos. I win because, well, the more subscribers I have, the easier it is to get all these neat new things. Plus, there's a button normally floating right around here or maybe over here, I forget which, that says subscribe. You can hit that during the video. And at the end, I'll put up a target on this side as opposed to the two videos over here. You hit that target, again, you've subscribed. So many ways to do it. So easy. So let's get to it. But while you're being guilted into that, let's get on to the knife, shall we? The Arctic is from Bestech, and they do tend to make some higher end knives at reasonable prices. I mean, this is a very striking looking knife. Very nice jimping on the back, and it's right where your thumb just naturally goes. Very nice cuts to make it very comfortable in the hand. You can tell that the liners are skeletonized simply by the fact that you can see all the way through the blade. Fairly deep pocket clip, which unfortunately you cannot move. It is where it is, and that's all she wrote. But still, very nice G10 handles. In addition to the gray, they've also got a black and I think a blue. I'd have to look. The blade is black washed on the highlights, which gives an even more striking look. The swedge or false edge on top is very nice. All in all, a very sweet knife. Almost what is starting to be called a harpoon style. And good material for the blade. It's D2 tool steel. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Comfortable choil. I still wouldn't prefer choking up on it because there's not much to keep your finger from riding up on the blade if you're choked up onto that choil. But it's big enough that it does work. As more than just a sharpening choil, that is. It's got a nice little backspacer there at the very end. It does have a hole for a lanyard if you want to add one. Cage ball bearings, so it's very sweet, very smooth. And it's definitely got a nice fidget factor. It's a bit wider than a lot of knives, and in spite of the skeletonized liners and the holes in the handle scales. It's a little bit heavier as well. I mean, this is 0.34 pound shipping weight, so yeah, 1/3 of a pound of knife. Not one you're going to forget is in your pocket, that's for sure, but it's still not going to slow you down none either. So let's see how it does on our standard battery test, shall we? As always, start off with a simple piece of scrap paper. And also, as always, this has not been touched up. This is straight out of the box, just as it comes. Very, very nice piece. I forgot to mention that it looks like it's a flat grind. Might have been nice if they put a hollow grind on it, but it's flat grind. Still no problem though. Let's see here. Piece of cardboard. This one's getting kind of small, but it'll still work. Through. Beautiful. And let's see here. Yep. This is going to open up any box no, and very quickly. So let's see here. There we go. Hang package test. Standard Gold Peak tea bottle. Let's see how it does with this. Man, that was right in. No problem whatsoever. I mean, that's just... Yeah, I've seen more expensive knives have more trouble punching into a tea bottle than that. Here we go. Paracord. Let's see how it does with this, shall we? What you doing, buddy? And right on through. Now that wasn't... Still went through fairly nicely, but not quite as nice. Let's see if I can hold on to the small loop. Past several weeks I haven't been able to because of damage to my left arm and hand, but let's hear. I'm managing to this time just... I mean, it's cutting it. I'm not sure how much of that is the knife is being too thick and wide to cut it, and how much of that is my hand. Let's do something here. Got the vice grips out. This way I know I can hold on to it. And with the vice grips, it is... Nope. Okay. So it is that tip, not my hand. Still did fairly decent though, so I'm not going to complain too much. Let's get the leather out, shall we? Standard heavy gauge cowhide. A little bit hard for me to hold on to, but once I did get a hold of it, it's cutting it. So, not bad there. In a pinch, you could use it for skinning or for making yourself a pair of chaps or gauntlet, or even very heavy gloves, or cutting a piece to patch your boots. So far, great. Let's see here. How does it do on zip ties? You've heard me speak about zip ties so often, you know how handy they are. Let's see how it does. Well, it would help if cutting it quite as nicely, but it still cut it. Let's see how it does at chopping it, shall we? I took the piece off and knocked the block out of my hand. Let's see here. Yeah. It's sharp, chopping it off beautifully. So, and as long as we've got the wood in our hands, let's see how it does on this, shall we? Start by just kind of we'll smooth things out in the chop nicely. Let's see here. You're looking to feather something up. That'll work just fine. So, let's see here. Where did I put my glove? There's my glove. Let's see how it works on this. It took a little bit more than I was expecting. It definitely did it. Of course, starting on an angled edge like that, that's not exactly the safest way to do it to begin with. But you definitely can't complain about that. So, and let's see here. I'm seeing some shiny spots and a few bits of wood stuck, but they're polishing right out. Nothing to be ashamed of there. Let's see how it does. Let's make sure it didn't take any damage, shall we? No. No damage whatsoever. So there you have it. The Arctic from Bestech. Definitely a heavier knife than what I normally choose to carry. But great fidget factor. Nicely centered all the way around. All in all, if you don't mind the little extra weight, definitely an excellent consideration for your EDC needs. And definitely well in keeping with everything else that Bestech ever did. So, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. And as always, I'll wish you a great week. And I'll remind you, again, as always, it may be ability that decides what you can do. It may be motivation that decides what you will do. It's attitude that decides how well you do it. So if you're going to do something, no matter what, do it with attitude. Catch you later. Hope you enjoy these videos over here. And remember what I said about subscribing by hitting that target. I'll see you next week. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye now.